and welcome back to my channel. I hope that you all enjoyed my little fashion show, which was just peachy. That's what I'm going to be calling that. So I love to pair different colors together and go with variations of those colors within that color scheme, and to use a pattern piece to kind of bring all of those colors together. So that is really the theme that you will see within all of my outfit pairing. If color brings you joy, don't be afraid to use the color. I have gotten rid of all the colors that do not bring me joy. I've kept colors that I feel really complement me and that I love. Now, in my last fashion video, I shared slip secrets, and I discussed one aspect of slips with you. I discussed, just the delicate details of a slip and how I love to have a little bit of lace peeking through if it is going to offer more coverage for, say, the dress that I'm wearing. If it's a little too low cut, I don't mind having something that offers that coverage. And there were a couple of different trains of thought that I've talked to you about. Some people said that it's an absolute no for you to show your slip. I wanted to read a comment and kind of discuss this with all of you. And I really do want to explain myself further, because I felt I didn't do a very good job of that in my last video. And so hopefully for some of you who also had questions about all of these different things, I hope that this is helpful for you. My first comment comes from Julie Cams. She said, "Thank you for your desire to be modest. I applaud your sharing these thoughts publicly. Slips are sold as undergarments, and I prefer them not to be seen as such. Our brothers in Christ deserve our coverage, just as we would prefer our sisters in Christ to not expose themselves to our husband. Stitching up the slit in a full skirt is another option. The blue shades you have chosen are so lovely and reminiscent of Victoria Magazine's Blue Bliss feature." Thank you, Julie, for commenting, and this is something that I do want to get into a little bit further, because here's the thing. Like I said, there were a couple of different schools of thought. So some people do see slips as underwear. A lot of people will skip the slip just because some people don't realize the intent behind wearing a slip, but they try to mimic the same effect by using something we call a camisole. So that's just a spaghetti strap top that will offer you the solid coverage that you are looking for to have that barrier between your bra and your top, especially if your top is thin in nature. So I want to give you an example here. This top is very thin. If I were to just wear my bra with it, you would be able to see my bra line. You would be able to see my bra through it. Even if I was wearing something that was nude tone, it would just be apparent that I'm not wearing something else under it. So that's why a lot of people have been buying these camisoles to wear under these very thin tops. To me, it was easy to make the decision to, instead of wearing a camisole, wear a slip that would show the same kind of straps through. It would be something that would offer that barrier between my bra and between the top itself. Now, I do have slips that are very thin and that are basically see-through. POSHMARK has been a really big help in finding different slips. So this right here is very sheer. If you can see it, with that light behind it, it's very sheer. Now, if I'm wearing something that I don't want to show my bra through, if it's, say, a very light colored top, I wouldn't wear this with it. I would wear this under something that is a little bit thicker and that I don't have to worry about my bra showing through. And that's the way that I like to wear them. Now, for instance, with this slip right here that I'm wearing with this, you really can't tell the difference of, is it a slip or is it a camisole? And that's the point that I'm making, is that the reason I encourage you to wear a slip is because it smooths everything out. You won't see your underwear lines, you won't see your bra lines. It's just great for that. And it keeps your clothing from sticking to you. It offers another barrier. I've talked about all these reasons in a past slip video about how a lady wears a slip, so I'm going to link that up here if I can. There are just a number of reasons why it's good to wear a slip, and also just for modesty. As you saw in that last video when I was twirling around, it offers as that barrier. It's not something that would be so risque that was showing, because nothing of your body was showing, if that makes sense. And that's what we're trying to avoid here, is our body showing. So I agree with Julie talking about not exposing ourselves, but I would say that I differ in what can show. So to me, I would much rather a slip peek out than skin or my undergarments. One of the things I talked to her about was how I look at slips as being like a man's undershirt. So slips are made of much finer fabrics, because as women, we love beautiful things. And that's what is the equivalent today of a slip, are the camisoles that you see worn. I love this comment. This was from Betsy Ledbetter. She said, "The clothes look so cute on you. I am intrigued by slips. I am so not down with modern shapewear, but that seems to be the main underclothing available to purchase. Slips really make the clothing hang nicely over the body and without the torture factor." Okay, I'm just gonna make mention here of the torture of shapewear. I've heard it said that, you know, a real lady wears shapewear, wears a girdle, all of that kind of stuff. I've worn some of that stuff just because maybe I thought it would make an outfit look better or something, but let me tell you, the way that it rides sometimes, or even just the feeling, having to sit in whatever you're doing and to feel that uncomfortable, I just feel nobody should ever feel that uncomfortable, to the point where you can't enjoy yourself, you can't enjoy eating. And I think personally that it's not that great for your organs. So it's not something that I wear. The most shapewear that I wear is the tummy control with the nylons. That's it. And to me, that's not uncomfortable. It's very, it's not uncomfortable to me. And I know that a lot of people, when you talk about nylons, they're just a no-go. That's a no-go. And if it is for you, then, you know, I can respect that fully. I know that some people just don't want to be bothered with certain things. And so that's how I feel about shapewear. I don't want to be bothered with shapewear. And yeah, that is, I mean, some people it would work out well for, but for some of us that just don't want to go through the torture of that, I'm right there with you. The next comment comes from Carrie Mae Ashley. "I was wondering if you would consider doing a follow-up video on how slips are supposed to fit. I just bought my first 2 slips and I got a size up. Not sure if that was correct. By the way, this video was so fun to watch, watching the ending twice. I really paid attention to the placement of your skirts." Thank you, Carrie Mae, for writing in. I would love to discuss how a slip is actually supposed to fit. So it's really supposed to be form-fitting around your body's area, and then it's supposed to just kind of hang. It's not really supposed to be skin tight at all, not the way modern shapewear is. And that is so that your clothing hangs nicely, and that's the whole purpose of it. And then also, if your slip is fitting snugly up on top, not skin tight, but just snugly where it, you know, it forms to your curves, and then that really gives you a nice shape underneath your clothing. And so that is how it's supposed to fit. I know that it's harder to purchase vintage style slips. Mainly just ask for the measurements around the bust, I would say, and then making sure that the whole entire slip itself will fit to where it's not skin tight on you. Because with it hanging nicely, it doesn't ride up that way, and that's the point. You don't want your slip to be riding up. You don't want to have to adjust your slip. And I think so many of us have gotten into the habit of adjusting our clothing so much that we think that that's a normal thing. Our clothing should fit us nicely to where we're not having to mess with it all the time. We're not having to constantly adjust ourselves or pull our shirts down. And I have to say, I hated that. I hated that about camisoles. So I'm so glad that I've been getting rid of all my camisoles, because I can't anymore. Wearing a slip, especially since I wear a skirt or a dress every single day now, just having a full slip if possible is the best to me. So I was even thinking of getting rid of this because I haven't worn it in, I don't know the last time I wore it, and I just prefer to have a full slip now. Of course, I'm not going to put myself on here in a slip. I'll try to insert a few pictures of women wearing slips, but I think that it's something that you can easily look up if you're searching slips. And again, if you're looking for detail slips that are just beautiful, search vintage style slips, vintage lace slips, stuff like that, and you will just love what you will find, I guarantee you. So I look forward to my next feminine allure video and talking fashion with you, and I hope that you all enjoy these as well. And I do love to add those little fashion shows for you. They're all going to be a little bit different, and I'm going to keep it fresh and fun for each and every one of you. And until next time, I hope that you all take care and have a beautiful day. Bye everyone.